Welcome back to Grumpy Vet Garage. In a previous video, I covered my decision to switch from using the JB4 to getting a femto unlock using the hand carry service from Euro Performance Center so that I could run MHD+. I'm not going to rehash my reasoning in this video. Please watch the previous video where I go over my rationale on why I'm switching from the JB4 to a femto unlock in MHD+. So my DME has returned from Finland, and I briefly want to go over my satisfaction with the Euro Performance Center service for the femto unlock. I sent out my DME on 12 April of 2024 just to make sure that it was going to arrive at Euro Performance Center in time for their trip. EPC required my DME to be there by 16 April, which was easily achievable. Their trip to Finland started on 17 April and returned as expected on 24 April. They then, the following day, the 25th of April, promptly sent out my DME. I chose the one-day shipping option and received it the very next day, 26 April, which is today. So with that timeline, my Supra was inoperable for 15 days. If I had sent out the DME last minute, it very well could have only been down for 11 days. I won't make a judgment on whether or not that's short or long. They're very transparent about what the timeline is, how long the trip is, and that's exactly what it ended up being. So now my DME is unlocked and ready to be tuned with MHD+. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it back in the car. Again, in a previous video, I showed you how to remove the DME and the precautions you need to take when removing it. So please go ahead and refer to that video. The installation of the DME is just going to be the reverse of the removal steps. So before even starting this process, you're going to need to go ahead and connect a battery charger to your battery so that you don't kill it during this process. And also make sure that you've already installed the MHD Flasher app on your phone or whatever mobile device you're using and create a user account. The adapter I'm using is the one from MHD. So go ahead and plug this one into the OBD2 port. Now with the connector in the OBD2 port, go ahead and keep your foot off of the gas and hit the start stop 3 times real fast. This will put the car in diagnostic mode, and now we can go ahead and start the process of tuning with MHD+. Okay, so logged in to MHD. Don't be surprised if you see something that says unlock required. What you need to do is just restart that process again. So log out, log back in, and it should clear itself up. Now you want to check to make sure your DME is unlocked, and now it shows you didn't do anything, but now it shows that the FEM2 unlock is available. Next step is to go ahead and flash your OTS tunes. So come down and select stage 2 underneath the multi-map because it is MHD+. So in my case, I'm selecting 93 octane. For that slot 1, slot 2, turn around and select E40. I haven't put any ethanol in the car yet, but that would be an off-the-shelf E-tune. And then 3 and 4, I just put 91 just because you never know what kind of bad gas you might get. If you're thinking you're getting 93 and having a 91 tune available immediately, I thought was a good idea. So that's why I put in slots 3 and 4. Now you'll come over here and you'll see where it says options underneath. Select your options, and then here's the options. So talking about CAN integration, this is where you would put in a motive reflex or an MHD ethanol content analyzer. Anti-lag, I'm choosing not to run anti-lag, but this is where you would put your configuration for your anti-lag. Additionally, drop down for a multi-map if you want to do that or not. So I'm going with multi-map, but you can choose to turn it on and off. You would select aftermarket downpipe. Coming down, burbles, went ahead and turned them on, but I'm keeping them OEM. I'm not trying to extend those burbles, but if you wanted to, this is where you would turn around and make them more aggressive if you so choose. I am choosing the cold start reduction. Exhaust flap always open in sport mode, startup roar, sport cooling for the intercooler, And then if you had port injection or meth, this is where you would do the coil cut. On map 2, 3, and 4, again, you're going to select your burble settings. So you could actually make a burble map on one of the maps if you wanted to. And then, of course, you have to select cold start, noise reduction on each individual map. Coming back up to the top. Now you would start the actual map writing process. The process actually doesn't take very long. What I'm recording here is actually the second time I did it. You'll see how quick it is on the second time, but the first time took all of 45 seconds. Restarting the DME. Additionally, here it says clearing codes, and it is doing that. But if you turn around and after, again, success, it took all of 8 seconds to record, or to write. But if you turn around and get a check engine light again after doing this, use your MHD app and clear the codes a second time. Don't freak out. So if you see where it says, oh, an unlock required, don't freak out. Just restart it. If you get done with your flash process and it says, oh, there's a check engine light, but you haven't even moved the car, just clear the codes again, and you should be good to go. Okay, taking her for a drive. Granted, it's still pretty cold, but the burble settings don't appear to be too crazy. Right now, driving in sport mode, but I'm still in my neighborhood too, so that's just park throttle. It does seem to be more responsive for sure. Don't know all the scope of what the OTS tunes from MHD really covers, but I'm assuming throttle response is one of them. So yeah, it's really just that little bit right there. It seems the low end responsiveness is much more aggressive than anything I've been able to feel so far with the stock car or with the JB4. Yeah, this is a drastic difference. That's all part throttle too. I'm not even. Yeah, the spool of the turbo is more audible than it was before too. Granted, I have an aftermarket intake. You saw that previous video. But yeah, this is not the same animal. Before, when I installed the JB4, I could feel, the butt dyno, as it were. I could feel the difference in performance from the stock car to it with the JB4 with their OTS maps. But this is a drastic difference. So my intention is to get up here, hopefully get a little bit of room on my buddy's farm road here, and be able to try to replicate the draggy runs that I had done previously utilizing the JB4. 0 to 60 runs are very difficult to really hammer down anything. They're fun, mind you, but as far as good draggy data, it's not the best test for this car. The factory tire struggles to get the power down. And again, that's not what the tire's for. It's not a drag radial or anything, but it struggles to get the power down from a standstill. So it can be pretty impressive, but it's not exactly the best way to test how fast the car is going. So we're going to try to replicate the 30 to 90 mile an hour runs I was doing with the JB4 to see if we can beat those times. Again, from the seat of my pants, we should easily be able to beat the JB4. Granted, I never got an actual Map 6 tune for the car. I did miss with wastegate tuning a little bit, and I did get some drivability in the car that I thought was pretty good. But as far as an increase in power, I did not get anything remotely close to what I'm feeling just in this little drive that I'm taking right now with the JB4. So hopefully we can get some good hard data with the draggy, and then that way we can compare a downpipe and an air filter, air intake power to that of the JB4, but also the JB4 to MHD Plus with their Stage 2 OTS tunes.
30, 60.
So now I want to go over the results of the draggy runs, the 30 to 90 mile an hour draggy runs that I did with MHD Plus. The first run, I did 30 to 90 in 5.70 seconds. And the second run I did was done in 5.75 seconds. So I don't know if there was a heat soak that may have caused that slight deviation in performance, but those were the two runs I did, and those were the results I got, which were pretty good. The baseline run of 30 to 90 mile an hour that I did a few months ago when it was just catted downpipe and air filter, I did that same run in 6.18 seconds. And then when I installed the JB4, the best run I was able to get was 6.06 seconds. All these runs were done on 93 octane pump gas, no ethanol, no octane boosters, nothing like that. So with the JB4 to just the catted downpipe and air filter, I was able to improve my time by 0.12 seconds, which is something. That's an improvement. But the improvement from the JB4 to MHD Plus was a full 0.31 seconds. So it's a substantial improvement. So JB4 got 0.12 second improvement, but if I was to go straight from just a catted downpipe and air filter to MHD Plus, I would have had a performance increase of 0.49 seconds. So almost half a second faster in a 30 to 90 mile an hour run. And I'm not surprised in any way. So the improvement in performance that I was able to see in the car compared to a catted downpipe and air filter with the JB4 was an improvement of 0.12 seconds. The improvement I was able to see with MHD Plus, their off-the-shelf tune, Stage 2 tune, compared to the JB4 was an improvement of 0.31 seconds. So a drastic improvement. Again, I don't want this video to be bashing the JB4. The JB4 clearly has a place, but the improvement in performance that you can get from a DME unlock and tune with MHD Plus is just drastically better than what you would get with the JB4. So other than just raw data, I want to try to summarize the benefits of getting MHD Plus. Increased performance, 3 times as much performance as what you were able to get using a JB4. It's a drastic improvement over a piggyback. And I already knew that, and I think most people already know that a DME tune is going to be superior than a piggyback tune, and it's very evident. The throttle response with the map, the off-the-shelf map from MHD Plus, is superior to the throttle mapping of the stock car. The car is just more responsive. The sound of the car has changed. The turbo is clearly working harder because you can hear it. I hope in the video you're able to hear the improved sound of the turbo. It sounds great. So I didn't expect that, but that's a positive as well. And then the biggest thing that you're going to notice is when I installed the JB4, did I notice a performance increase? Yes, but I noticed it kind of high end. With this unlock and tune, granted just off the shelf tune, there's power increase everywhere. Part throttle, full throttle, there's power everywhere. The car is very eager to go. It's very evident, and it's really awakened the car. The car is not the same with this. So my recommendation to you would be, if you can do it, get an unlock and get MHD Plus. So I hope this kind of helps you quantify what you're getting with a DME unlock and MHD Plus. And if this helped you, please consider subscribing to Grumpy Vet Garage, liking this video, sharing this video with friends. Additionally, to help out the channel, we have a Grumpy Vet Garage merch store. Here's a Supra specific shirt. The link to that store is in the description below. Please, by all means, go there and get something for yourself. Well, thanks for coming and seeing me in my garage. And until next time, have a good one.